Hey friends, welcome to this first lecture on this mini project in which we're gonna build one registration form using which people can sign up. Alright, in order to proceed further, I have made some very tiny changes. Let me show you these. First of all, I have made change in display view using which I am displaying this text welcome to studyeasy.org, and I have also added one navigation. So this display underscore view file is updated. Here we have this heading 1 text, and we have also edited header.php by adding one new link for sign up function. We have also added sign up function welcome.php where we are adding sign up underscore view, and under this file sign up underscore view.php we have nothing which we gonna build. So in here, if I click on sign up, it will give me a blank page. So this is which is already done. Let us build one registration form now. Friends, as we are using an bootstrap template and which take care of any screen resolution, whether it is a mobile device or anything, our website will look cool and awesome. But in order to make our website compatible with bootstrap template, we also need to check the examples which are there. So before we proceed further and building a simple form for registration, let us check few examples. In here there are a couple of examples, and one of the example is very interesting, and the example is registration.html. and if I open this page, then there is a sweet registration form in front of us. And what we gonna do is we will use the same code. Let us check the code for this registration.html. If I open this HTML file using Notepad++, then it will give me a full page source code, and we don't want all of these stuff. We only want the stuff which is important to us, and the stuff is the registration form. And how we can get it? And we will get it under this section. The section is registration page. So we will simply copy it from here, and we will copy this content, navigate to NetBeans, and we will paste all this content under signup.view. And if now I go ahead and refresh this page, it will start showing me a very good registration page. One more thing I need to do is I will also use this so that we will also able to get the heading part. So now if I refresh, oh, that's cool, right? So everything looks very nice. We will further edit this page for sure, but the only thing which I would emphasize to you guys is that always go ahead and try to research on these sections, divs, and whenever you go ahead and try to build your own page, take care of these divs. In real life scenarios, we must take care of these things, and it would be rather good if you go ahead and try to practice with all these stuff. So let's proceed further with our registration form. Before proceeding further, let me also give you a very small piece of information. Codeigniter also gives us an helper by the name of form helper. You can check out this article in which all the required information is provided by Codeigniter. Form helper makes the code very neat and clean, and many of the developers recommend using form helper. But personally, I doesn't use it much, but you can have a look at it. Alright, so let's go ahead, and here are the three information which we would require: the username, email, password, and also we would also add one column by the name of ID. The name of the table would be users, in which we will store this registration information, and first column name would be user's ID, type would be int, it would be auto incremented type, and it would be index. All right, the name of the index would be id, and second would be email, then name and password. All right, this looks good. And email, let's keep it as varchar, the size would be 50. Name, again the size would be 50, and password, let's make this 32. Why 32? Because we will encrypt the password as MD5. All right, so everything looks great. Let's save this. Oh, awesome. So everything is created, the table is ready, and we can proceed further now. One small change let us make by renaming this username to name. And how we can do that? We will simply change the placeholder, and let's also change the name. All right, let's save it. All right, let's refresh it. Okay, now friends, whenever we will click on register, check the URL. The URL doesn't change. Why? Because in here we have defined the action as nothing. Means the form would submit itself and the registration information would be available directly to us. So let's handle all these stuff in our controller. Now as we are submitting the page to itself, means the data would be available to this function. The name of the function is sign up. So we need to identify whether the page is submitted or not, and the easiest way is to reading the post variable. How we read the post variable? By using $_post, and inside this pair of brackets we have the name of the post variable. In here the name of the post variable is email. All right, so here if I navigate back to sign up function, if is set means the post variable is available, means the form is submitted, then echo yuppie in order to identify it. This is only for training purpose. I have echoed yuppie. Else, if the form is loading for the first time, form is not submitted yet, then load the form. So this is the case. If I hit enter, then the form would get loaded, and if I click on register, then it will print yuppie, which is awesome. Now let's add one very small kind of validation which comes with HTML5. If I navigate to signup_view, under this input statements, we can do this thing, required equal to required. And let's also do this for rest of the fields. Now what this will do is, this will stop the user to submit, and it will ask us to fill these fields. So this is kind of very small validation, but very useful when it comes to HTML5. It's a feature of HTML5. All right, so let's go back. In here, if the form is submitted, means the variable email is available along with obviously the other variables. We will receive this information and add this into a database. For doing that, we will again edit sample_model, and we will remove all this stuff and type in our own function by the name of add user. Now the function is very simple. We are simply receiving this user and we will add it. How we can add it? Let's take the help of user guide once again, and if I click on query builder class, in here we will get this link of inserting the data. In here, this is the example how we can insert the data. We simply need one array and we can insert it inside the table. So only this particular statement is good enough to insert the data inside the table. The first parameter in this function is the table name, and the table name was users, and that's it. And obviously we will also return the flag so that we can identify whether the user is properly inserted or not. Now from where we will receive the user? We will receive the user from our form. So let's go to here The first column is name, and we will store. Now the array is ready. Let's try to load the model and gets this record inserted. So we have successfully created this data array, plus we have also loaded the sample underscore model and called add underscore user function from this model. And if there is some failure, then this if condition will tell us and we will print this message something went wrong. And in here, let me also give here in order to check whether it is properly got executed or not. Ideally, I need to load a view in here, but as if now, for just testing purposes, I will print success. So this is not recommended to echo, but in order to check and identify, it's okay. So let's load sign up page. Name would be Chand, email would be chandsheikh@gmail.com. That's my email. Password would be maybe 123123, and let's make this as John because we have some data with my records already. So let's register and success. Awesome. And if I navigate to user, here we have the record of John Doe, password 123 and email address chandsheikh@gmail.com. So everything is looking perfect. But there is again an issue. Even if I type in anything and submit enter, email address would be not validated. Plus, either if I type in password 123 and the confirmation password 456, again then this form won't validate everything properly. So we will check how to validate this form in next lecture.